Hey everyone, welcome back to Cop Meets a Homestead. It is I, Jen. And before we get on to this depressing episode, if you guys want to hit like and subscribe and check out my other socials down below, that would be great. Because I think this might just become a little series of me talking about mental illness and cleaning my house and cleaning my life. So, yeah. Get used to it. Anyways, I really need to come out about how freaking dirty my house is. Like, it is, something you probably would see on hoarders. Maybe not as bad because I do try to periodically clean. But with my mental health issues, I have a lot of childhood neglect. Oh yeah, trigger warning. I should probably make a trigger warning sign. Note to Jen, no pens. Frig, I hate when that happens when I don't go with pen. I have an Igor, but she's only a kitty and she might forget. But yeah, no, so anytime when I was a kid cleaning, it just seemed never good enough for my parents or my mom or whoever, my sister. It's not good enough. Oh, you're doing it all wrong. It was never, you did a good enough job, but here's where we can, do better. It was always like the most negative, oh, you did it all wrong, I now have to redo the work kind of way. So I guess that's one of the things that makes me like very hesitant of cleaning. And even like, oh my God, I think looking back, it's like almost a decade now. I can't believe I'm almost 29 in August. I had my parents over and I had the house as clean as I could possibly get it. And my dad still walked out of my house because it wasn't up to his standards. And I'm like, nothing is ever up to your standards with you guys, with me. It's, so stressful. I haven't even had them in my house. I've had them in my house maybe once or twice since I've moved into this place. And I've been here 8 years. I don't want them in my house. Not even if it's clean or at least clean to my standards, as good as I can get it. Because it's not going to be clean enough for them. Or clean enough for anybody else. Which is really stressful. Because it just makes you so hesitant about even trying to clean. Which makes, like, life so much harder. Because they've also been very, like, negatives to so many other things. Like, anytime I've had a career that wasn't in line with their opinion, they kind of scoffed at it. They wanted me to be a hairstylist, but I realized that some of the perfumes are now giving me migraines. And I've also wanted to be a makeup artist. But again, I can't say to a bride on her wedding day, please don't wear perfume, or anybody else in the wedding party, because I'm just going to ruin it. If I've got a migraine that takes me out because of a perfume in 1, hour or so, I'm just going to ruin the whole wedding. So I chose not to do that. I do some makeup and things for, friends. And I actually do my own hair. Like, I actually do the bleaching myself. Because I know how. But I didn't take that because I was allergic to the things. Which really sucks. And then now with having chronic migraines, it's also something that, what do I do there with career-wise? I mean, starting gabapentin to quit smoking, I was starting to wake up like at around noon instead of like early in the morning, which I'm used to. And I wanted to put my resume into a fish seller here in town, but I decided not to because of my migraines. Not really my migraines, but the gabapentin. That's why. Because I wasn't sure when my body would, balance that out with everything. So I didn't go and do that. I told my parents I wanted to go do a fly-in camp job, and, experience that. They scoffed at that, even though it could make me, $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Scoff at that. Oh, my family suggested that I do, trucking. Because I love driving. I truly do love driving. They're like, oh, you should be, do that, get your class 1 and, haul semis and stuff. That's something, you're good at. You're meticulous when it comes to driving. A few weeks, maybe a month or so later, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, it's so stressful. Oh, don't do that. Like, seriously, guys, make up your mind what you want from me. I mean, I kind of decided to marry Sergey on their advice of find yourself a husband that will let you stay at home so you don't have to work. I found myself a husband who, in our discussions, has agreed to let me stay at home to work on my projects so I don't have to work. Like, I like working, but, like a real, like an employment, 9 to 5 kind of thing. I like doing like my freelancey stuff that I can do. But they're not, impressed by it. Like, I even told my mom about my MLM, activism, and all it was, well, some people don't make money in it. And I'm like, it's like, and it's like real estate. And it's like, Mom, when you bought real estate, you didn't have to get other people to buy real estate, and create some sort of, triangular down line of real estate buying. And she couldn't even understand that. It's so frustrating. It's like, come on, Mom. Come on. It's like, so yeah, it gets frustrating when, your parents always tell you, oh, you're not doing the right thing, when they told you to do something, or, you're not doing it right. And it's like, come on, let me live my life here. I'm trying to, heal from the damage done when you guys kicked me out at 13. By the way, they kicked me out because they wanted to buy more, wanted to play Monopoly with buy more properties. And basically, they thought I would do better in Kelowna instead of, living with them down in the Lower Mainland around Vancouver. 5 years. I would ask them, can I please move back in? Please. I really want to live with my parents. Honestly, I think by grade 10 was when I really lost illusion. And I tried looking for, new parents, which I did in coworkers. And I had these coworkers and friends, even Lily. Lily's headbutting the tripod. Sorry. But she knows I'm upset. Missy Cakes. Good Missy Cakes. I love you, kitten. See, she's like all over me. She's like my mom. My cat mom. Hi, cat mom. See? I love her. What's up? You've got food. She's totally cat mom. Where was I? Yeah, so yeah, they kicked me out, and I feel like, honestly, they just didn't want to deal with me as a teenager. And it's like, here, you're your sister's problem now. Go live with her. So I basically had to be my own parent at 13 because my sister would have night shifts at whatever restaurant or place she was working at then. I can't even remember anymore. And I would have to come home, do my homework, make my own dinner, put myself to bed, solve my own problems, that kind of stuff. I love my sister. But even her and I are a bit distant because she thinks it's all my fault that I act dramatic instead of realizing, hey, there is some actual trauma here. I mean, she knows there's trauma. Because she's like, we need to figure out a way how to get all your anger and everything out. And I'm like, oh, that is a lot of anger. And I realized in a euphoric drug state of my gabapentin and a nap, I don't trust them. I sadly cannot trust my own parents. Which is so sad. I know. How can you not trust your own parents? The other day I actually told them I kind of hate them. Love's not there. I say I love you just because it's one of those things you have to go through the motions. Oh yes, I love you, parents. Thank you for birthing me. And then forgetting about, raising me for the last 5 years, and then having me move out. They got pissed off when I moved out at 18. But they kicked me out at 13. Again, I wasn't like a problem child. Like your typical, what you think of a delinquent. Right? Oh well. I hung out with them though. In high school. And things. But I always had better grades. Sadly, even though I was just going by. I always had the better grades. I actually got kicked out of a class because I self-doubted how good I was at my English skills. I actually suck at reading, like, the novels. So I usually, if I can get it on an audiobook, I'm like, yes, I can get it on an audiobook, because my dyslexia makes it sometimes very difficult. I'm like, yes, audiobooks. 'Cause I love audiobooks. Seriously, love them. But, yeah, so I put myself in this, like, lower class for, like, grade, it was called Communications 11 and 12. So I was going to take semesters, courses of both of those. So I would just get my English out of the way, my English requirement out of the way to graduate in 1 year. But the teacher is looking at my answers and reading my answer, like, after a few, things. And he's, like, really suspicious. And there were these things, I'm not sure if this is the same in the United States. I know they stopped it apparently here in British Columbia, but we had these things called provincials. And they were essentially exams that, you had to complete in certain, grades for, the ability to graduate. So one of them was an English provincial for grade 10. And this is Communications 11 and 12, so really dumbed down level of English. And the teacher, he comes up to me, he's like, did you know you got 95% on your English provincial? And I was like, what? Because seriously, if you were to have seen my grades, because I think most of it was from depression. I just wasn't happy. That's why I didn't do the work. I was happy. I wasn't happy. I was stressed. I was miserable. I had to take care of myself. I was the adult. Plus I had to go to school. Plus I had a job. So yeah, that was pretty stressful, having that. I mean, I loved my job. Love my coworkers. They were pretty awesome. They they pretty much helped raise me. So hats off to them. Hats off to you guys. But yeah, no. Even like one of my coworkers and my older friends, who were like in their 30s, they're like trying to talk to my mom. They're like, listen, she really needs an adult. She, she wants her parents. And my mom's like, oh, no, that's just her personality. Jen's just being dramatic. I mean, I'll give it. I've got a boisterous, dramatic personality, but some of that was actually learned behavior, which I found out in, therapy later on. Like, I can't even remember one of the therapies. It was like cognitive something. I can't remember the name. One of the ones that helps you better, regulate your emotions and things like that. And, I either have a very mild form of autism or borderline personality disorder. And I think it could be like a combination of both, because again, borderline personality disorder is learned. Some of it. And growing up in a household, invalidated and stuff, that also like cuts down your, self-esteem and everything. Even as an adult, I get cut down by my mom. like, body-wise. When I was so proud to get into the X-Biz magazine, you know, for being a top cam model for Chatterbait at the time. You, with that body and those sagging tits, I was like, wow. You can't just say, you know, congratulations, good work. Go you, you know? You have to, like, figure out a way how to drag me. Or if I'm just wearing a top and, you know, it's slightly too low, she'll start poking at my boobs and, you know, it's like, she's like, oh, cover them up. And I'm like, stop boob shaming me. Stop being cats. And it's just like, come on, like, stop it. And if you're going to keep boob shaming me, at least fork up the money so I can get a tit job, Mom. That's the way how I pretty much felt like it. And then last week, like I said in my other video, I got into a fight with my parents. One of the reasons I got into a fight with my parents is earlier in that day, my mom was shaming me for how I was raising my kid, Xavier. I love my son so much. And if you guys know me a bit closer, I've probably sent you pictures of X. And I think he's in one of my videos, like, kind of like in the background, like, murmuring. I mean, I want to do more family blog stuff, but, you know, not like, you know, like, use him. Because he's nonverbal. I'm not going to do that to him. That is so disgusting. Like fathering autism. Like, how could you do... Like, but that's a video on another time or there. But seriously, it's like, you're shaming me for coming to a terms with his father that we can't live with each other, but we can still be best friends. And mutually agreeing to separate. Our child happens to be in a small town where he can, you know, get much better attention from, you know, the assistant, you know, and, you know, the special learning crew, because he's a nonverbal autism. Fortunately, not in a normal classroom. So a lot of occupational therapy and stuff like that. And here's the thing. Xavier, my kid, is still with his father and also has his grandfather. And as much as I try to work hard at home and I really want to see him more, it's just mostly a budgeting and a gas issue. Like, even my budget is a mess because I have a mental mess that also affects my budgeting, which also affects my house. Yes, we all know it all loops back together. But she shamed me. And I was like, what? You're shaming me for, you know, leaving my kid with his dad. Well, you and Dad decided to move into a smaller place, move me into with my sister, and only come up maybe on the weekends, because it got worse. They used to come up every weekend when I was in school, and then the cabin was built. And then they would just go up to the cabin, and I would call them up and be like, hey, I thought you guys were, you know, coming over. And they're like, oh, just come visit us at the cabin. And I'm like, I'm your teenage daughter. I thought you guys were supposed to take care of me and visit me, or, you know, let me move in with you. So, yeah, like, it will, I am surrounded by pussy right now. I've got Igor right here. Ivan just moved over there. Come here, buddy. No, I got Igor's. Wants to go to my hand. So, yeah. Couldn't believe she shamed me for my parenting. And she's like, can't believe how you leave your kid. And I'm like, and then later in the day, she gaslit me by saying, oh, I didn't do that. And I'm like, you did do that, Mom. Just because it was just me and you having coffee doesn't mean you can turn around and say it didn't happen. Stop gaslighting me, which is another huge problem in my family, is the gaslighting. There's so much gaslighting, you don't even light a match. Don't think of lighting a match around my family. It's going to frickin' explode. That's how much gaslighting there is. It's just... Like, honestly, if you were to take us into, like, some sort of, like, big, like, intense family counseling, I'm pretty sure one of us will commit suicide. Or one of us will murder the other. One of us will murder the entire family. Just saying. But, yeah. So that's just, yeah. I think, honestly, I think that might just be it for my little rant. I'm going to be cleaning my house today. And, yeah. Again, thanks for watching. If you actually made it this far, oh my god, you are amazing. Because this is like bullshit you guys don't even ask for. It's not like MLM content at all. At all. Ugh, I'm not even... Oh, I can't even speak. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.